What is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the DSP Morning Show for what is Thursday, the 12th of February, 2026. What's up? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Under the Sea celebration that I've set up for today. That's the lighting theme of today. It's supposed to be like underwater with like fish swimming around. I don't know if it actually looks like that or not. It looks pretty nice, I think. What's up and good morning, everyone? Who do we got today? Nice and bright and early. Let's see. We got Dreambert. How are you, man? We got Screeby, Nick, Caliban, Chris, Debo, Daniel, Craig. Who else do we got? Robert, how you doing? Rose Diamonds, hello. Rowdy Rodney Trotter. You don't see the fish. Basically, when you see these colors, see it disappeared, it's supposed to simulate like a koi fish or a different kind of fish swimming around underneath the water here. That's what it's supposed to be. I mean, you can only do so much with RGB lights, you know. They're not that complex, but it looks pretty nice. It does a vibe of like you're underneath the sea, I think, right? There you go. What we received the chewing out we're about to receive says humans. You're not getting a chewing out. Relax. Unless you act like a fool, then I'll chew you out. But if you act normal and pleasant, then you're welcome, and we're gonna have a good time here today. Who's here? We got Starboy, Feesbot, Reardon Steel, and Spoons. See, not a lot of people because I started early. I shocked everyone. I actually started about 10 minutes early. And I said, yeah, let's just chill, let's relax. And, you know, people aren't ready. They're not ready for this. Like, wait, what's going on? Phil is here and he's talking early. I don't get it. Refreshed the animations this morning. Rotated out a few of the ones that didn't apply anymore. We've got a few Resident Evil animations to now start getting hype for Resident Evil Requiem out in only a little over a week, if you're not aware. And we got a new animation for the Virtual Boy, which actually is next week. Next Tuesday, the Virtual Boy is out on Switch 2, and I ordered my Virtual Boy. It's supposed to ship. They already made the label a week ago and never shipped it, so hopefully it ships sooner rather than later. I'd love to do the live unboxing and hook it up and have some fun with all of you, right? Good stuff, good stuff. So, first of all, Debo, thank you for 2 months as a member. I appreciate that. Thanks for 2 months of support. That's nice of you. Nice, relaxing vibes this morning. Chrono Baggy, how are you? Who else do we got? El Phenomenal's here. What's up, what's up? So, we got a few different things going on right now. This is the DSP Morning Show, FYI. All we're going to do is hang out, enjoy each other's company, chat a bit, talk about, you know, variety of topics while we wait for attendance to build up so we can start with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I really hope that we can get some attendance for Dragon Quest today after earlier this week where, I'll be honest, it was pretty rough. You know, I wanted to continue on with this game. I love it. I love classic JRPGs, and I want to be able to play them. But it's hard getting attendance and support for them. Like, it really is. It's tough. So I do hope that today we'll get more people. Apparently today, from what someone has said who's playing the game, today we're unlocking the job systems. So we'll be able to start swapping jobs on our characters now, which adds to obviously the variety and customization of the game, makes it a little bit more fun with the gameplay. I'm definitely looking forward to that today. Hopefully the game will be, you know, great advancement of the plot and more. We're going to be playing for around 3 hours, over 3 hours actually, because the morning show will end in less than an hour. We'll have over 3 hours of gameplay today, which will be excellent. What's going on? Nothing here. How are you? SR Trumbull, how are you this morning? How you doing? Humble water filter salesman says a lack of support does not always reflect a lack of interest in a game. You're right. However, with the Dragon Quest playthrough so far, the 2 streams I've done, attendance and engagement as well, not great. And that's the problem. Like I said on, when did we play this last? Monday? Here's the deal with Dragon Quest VII. I know that I'm never going to be able to catch a mainstream crowd for JRPGs. I never have been able to. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, every time I've played a JRPG over the years, it hasn't really resonated with my audience, even though I grew up with them. I love them. They are very meaningful to me. I find them relaxing, fun games. I love them, but I just can't get a lot of people to come along for that ride with me for whatever reason. Knowing that, as long as everything else around here is going well, meaning if my other streams are doing good, then maybe it's just going to have to be that I accept the fact that Dragon Quest VII will be the playthrough that is a slow one when it comes to attendance, engagement, and support, but I can still play it. You know what I mean? Like, it's my one game that I select specifically and say it's okay, it's not doing great. But ideally, I would like them to do well too. So we'll see what happens. If you guys are here now, I would love if you could stick around and hang out for the afternoon with Dragon Quest, you know? But it seems like as soon as I start playing these games, people turn tail and run for the hills screaming in terror because they just say that they're so boring. Okay, yes, so in regards to the state of play, hold on. I'm already getting questioned. So today, this afternoon, around 2 p.m. Pacific time, Sony is doing a 1-hour state of play presentation. It's one of their longest ever. It's supposed to feature many different games, okay? Also, later on this afternoon, around 4 p.m. Pacific time, Konami is doing a Silent Hill transmission broadcast that's also supposed to highlight the next Silent Hill game, updates on others, and more. So obviously, I'm not going to be reacting to that stuff now. Tomorrow morning, I will do a Level 1 podcast to end my streaming week, and that podcast will be very heavily focused on reacting. I will react to any interesting trailers and information from State of Play and from the Silent Hill transmission. It'll be a really good show. So it's excellent that I've decided I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. It'll be a longer show, and we'll get all that stuff reacted to, right? Cool. All right, good stuff. So, the other thing directly related to that, tomorrow's daytime stream is now completely open. I played Crisol the other day. It didn't do well. People didn't like it. I thought it was boring. You know what's really funny? The mini review that I've done on Crisol, which is only 10 minutes long and it reviews the first 3.5 hours of the game, has about 3,000 views in less than 2 days, which I didn't expect. I thought maybe I get like 1,000 views and that'd be it. And that, what I'm seeing is people are saying I'm one of the very few people who actually talked about the game for whatever reason. I guess all the usual people who would play that style of game and review it didn't. So people are coming to mind for whatever reason. I guess we'll see what happens, okay? Anyway, so since Crisol didn't work, we have an open stream tomorrow. And I could do whatever I want after the Level 1 podcast. We could try out that game Mugenics that came out earlier this week from the makers of Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac. Or we could go back to a game that maybe we haven't played much of, like someone just said Dredge in the chat. We could do that. We could try out something completely different. To be honest, as you know, the last few weeks I've covered a lot of indies, right? Last month or so, probably covered 6, 7 different indie games. Since I've done that, every day I'm getting contacted by an indie dev saying, hey, you want to check out our game? Here's a code, or the demo's coming out this week, stuff like that. Indie devs are hungry for people to try their games. They are. They really want people to test out their games because it's hard to get exposure. And I get it. I totally get it. Like, it's rough out there right now with the amount of competition. So they're coming to me with all these games saying, hey, check out our game. Hey, here's a code for our game. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, but, you know, I don't commit to it. Because that way, there's no way that I'm going to disappoint the dev who thinks I'm going to play their game, you see? So, let's see what happens tomorrow. Here's the thing. The rumor is that during the Sony State of Play, one of the segments is going to be about Marathon, and that the Marathon beta will drop after the State of Play. If that's the case and there is a weekend beta for Marathon, then I will play that as tomorrow's daytime stream. We'll give it a go. We'll see if it's any good. Now, because I've played Arc Raiders, I'll be able to directly compare this upcoming extraction shooter to Arc Raiders. That'll be good to do. You know, I'm glad I got that experience. Rather than it being my first experience with one, to have that direct comparison, it's going to help a lot. Okay? So if that's out, that's tomorrow's first stream. If that's not out, then we just got to figure out what to do on the fly. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of options. So let's see what happens today during the State of Play. That'll help us figure out what we're doing tomorrow's daytime stream. Okay? Secret Rain just did a $2 super chat. That's our first support of the day, actually. And asks, can we check out Hellraiser live on stream for fun? We could. I saw that I think they just released I think they just released a new trailer, did they not? Or a new, like, preview? Something like that? I've seen nothing of Hellraiser. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what the game is. I don't know if it's survival horror. I don't know if it's, like, you know, the asymmetric survival where it's like a team of 4 survivors versus a killer, which they've done with Friday the 13th and other games. I don't know what it is at all. Nothing here says you should do more standalone video-on-demand reviews for other games with a rating like IGN, especially for indie games. Lots of playthroughs, but no actual reviews with scores. See, here's the thing. I wouldn't be able to score Crisol. I didn't play the whole game, nor do I want to, right? Like, I feel like you get to a certain point, if you know you're not liking a game, that's enough. Don't keep playing it. But I'm going to still do a video on it and tell everyone my thoughts, you know? A lot of people are still upset with me that I did that video and saying you didn't play the whole game. Like, I didn't have to. I played 3.5 hours. I was bored to tears. Why would I want to play more, put more time into it? You know? Secret Rain, thanks for another $2. He says, yes, they indeed did. Let's watch it live. Okay. So he wants us to check out Hellraiser. Perhaps we will. We also got Dark Ethan this morning with a $5 Canadian super chat. He says, good morning, Phil. How are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Ethan. Let's see what that would be converted today. $3.67, meaning you are the top super chatter so far. Let's get that on the leaderboard. I absolutely love my new setup. Now, finally, here we are about a month and a half into having it, and I think I finally got everything down. On the fly, I can check emails and unban people. I can see how many kicks were sent on Kick. I can immediately do currency conversions. I can do all this stuff that used to be a major chore. I can now do very easily with my setup. I love it. So I'm very pleased. Kimikaze, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Teacup, Dragon Quest very much is a slow burn game. That's a very true statement. They said Teacup just said, as good as Dragon Quest actually is, as fun as most JRPGs tend to be, perhaps it doesn't translate well to streaming because it's a slow burn. 1,000,000% it's slow burn, right? That's exactly the case. And you need to be along for that ride and understand it. Like, the way I see it with Dragon Quest VII, right? It's as much of a game playthrough as it is a hangout session with me. Treat it like, hey, we're going to play this game, and there's going to be story elements we have to pay attention to, and there's going to be combat, but we can also talk and chill and hang out and enjoy each other's company while I'm doing it. It's not a game that's ridiculous amount of attention must be put towards it at all times, like Street Fighter or Call of Duty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And if people treat it like that, I think then the playthrough would work. But a lot of people just can't stop fixating on the fact that it's a turn-based JRPG and they find it boring. Like, well, then don't focus on the game. Don't have to, you know? Let's see here. Nothing here says, agreed, we're talking about Crisol and or other games that I'm not going to keep playing. He says, it's like eating a meal. The first few parts are disgusting, so you stop eating, but people are saying, well, you should have finished the dish first. No, it was disgusting. Right, like, if I get a first taste of something and it's not appetizing, why would I keep eating it? Now, I can tell you, hey, I went and I tried it and it wasn't appetizing. Right? Okay, here's really a better explanation. Let's say you're going to a restaurant, all right, and the restaurant is going to give you a 3-course meal, okay? There's going to be an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. You sit down, and they give you the appetizer, and you go to eat it, and you're like, oh, it's disgusting, it's spoiled, it's just not delicious in any way, shape, or form, and now your stomach turns. Are you going to sit there and continue to eat the entree and the dessert? Or are you out of there, right? That's exactly right. So the thing is, as long as I represent myself fairly and I say, hey, listen, this is a 3.5-hour review, only reviewing the early parts of the game. As long as I represent myself fairly, then it's okay. If I had said, this is a full review of Crisol, it sucks dick, that's not right. That would be totally messed up and a misrepresentation. But the way I presented myself was very fair. I said, this is only the early parts of the game. I didn't like it. I didn't keep playing it. I think it's a bait and switch. Now, very well, if you play the entire game of Crisol, which everyone is saying it's 10 to 15 hours long, maybe it's better later in. Who cares? If the game is boring in the first 4 hours, why are you going to invest more time in it? And that's the point I was trying to make. It's too bad that, sadly, people don't understand the value of time anymore. People are arguing with me that Crisol is a good game because it's only $17. What the hell did you just say? You don't judge the game's value on its price tag. You judge it on the enjoyment factor of the time you've spent with it. And people don't even seem to get that anymore. They're in this weird mentality that if it's cheap, it's good. No, that's not the case at all. I'm sorry. I'm going to judge games fairly, whether they are $70 releases or $10 releases. If it's boring, it's boring. Some people don't get that, though. Let's see here. We have a super chat from the villain. $2 says, Reanimal, is it good? Wait, Reanimal is good. Reanimal is from the same makers as Little Nightmares. From what I've seen, it's almost exactly the same game, and it's meant to be co-op. So, number one, I tried Little Nightmares 1. People didn't like it. Okay? They didn't. They found the first game incredibly boring, and I forced myself to finish it, and the playthrough did poorly. Okay? When the second one came out, I kind of asked around, and everyone was like, nah, I didn't play it. Okay? Now there's another one, Reanimal, and it looks like it's the same game again. It really does. It looks like it's the same style of game, except the graphics are different. They're better this time. But it's the same thing. It's co-op puzzle solving with a horror element. I'm not very interested. You know, yeah, if it was something different from that studio, then maybe I would have wanted to play it. But I'm just not convinced that anyone's going to care about that game when no one cared about the first, Little Nightmares. And, it doesn't seem to be anything that's in my wheelhouse or that would make sense. I feel like I would buy it, we'd play it for one stream, everyone would be like, oh, what's this? It's boring. Just like they did with the first game. So, let's see here. Darth Revan, boy, you literally, I swear, it's like you are intentionally being ignorant. I don't even know what else to say. He says, you can't call a game a bait and switch when you didn't finish it. You don't know what comes after the point you quit. It doesn't matter. If the game has a trailer, and the trailer shows you what's supposed to be a representation of what the game is, and you've played 3.5 hours, and none of the interesting stuff in the trailer is in the game, that's a bait and switch. A game should be representative of its trailer throughout, not only at the end. You shouldn't have to suffer through endless hours of boredom to get to the good parts. The good parts should be right at the beginning, too, so you're always enjoying your time with the game. Now, I understand there may be some games where there's like a dramatic buildup or whatever. Dude, the buildup ended in 90 minutes. Then it was 2 hours of exactly the same gameplay, repetition, and boredom. What you're saying is literal ignorance. Like, you're saying I'm not allowed to review a game because I didn't beat it. Yes, I am, as long as I say it's only of the first 3.5 hours of the game and it's boring. You could do partial reviews. You could do first looks. Like, that's the whole point. It's called a first look. Hey, I gave it a try. I didn't like it. It's not my cup of tea. Maybe it'll be yours, but I think it's a bait and switch, and here's why. And then I justified what I said. Why are so many people so defensive about indie games? I'm really shocked. Like, why are you so defensive about this? You didn't make it, okay? The indie dev isn't going to kiss your butt because you're defending them blindly. I don't understand. I don't know anything about Dune Awakening. I'm being told Dune Awakening was also a blatant bait and switch. Oh, yeah? Well, that's true, too. Nothing here. Like, Nothing Here says, I question if most reviewers even finish the whole game a lot of the time. Some games are so long. There's no way that people actually played the whole game in the first day and released a review. See, here's the thing. A game I referenced, okay, in that mini review, Days Gone. That was a game that the first 12 hours was an insane repetitive slog. After the first 12 hours, the game got good. Most reviewers reviewed the game and claimed they played the whole game, but never referenced any of the good parts at the second half of the game. They ignored it like it never existed. Hence, I don't think they actually got that far. I think they played like 5 to 10 hours and tapped out and then said, oh, here's my review. That's disingenuous. That's completely irresponsible and dishonest, and that's not what I'm going to do moving forward. That's why with Crisol, I outright said, even in the thumbnail and title, 3.5 hour review. It did not say full game review. I refuse to lie to my audience about that to get clickbait. I received my first tip of the day. It's $10 from You're Not Funny, and he says, get some. Thank you to You're Not Funny for our first tip. And for the smooch. Thank you, You're Not Funny. All right. Do we want to check out this Hellraiser thing? Let me see if I can find it. There's a new Hellraiser game. All right, want to check this out? I have not seen anything on the Hellraiser video game as of yet. So this is a first, absolute, honest first reaction to whatever this game is. Okay? All right, let's take a look. Likely mature. I like this is likely mature. Pretty loud. Let's lower this. Okay. A Hellraiser game. Likely mature. Well, of course, they got to start with this. And he snaps her neck. Snap the neck.
Enlighten me. How do you know you love Sunny?
When she's near, I feel this rush. I need her.
And she snaps his neck. I thought this was horror. Oh, I see. It's a bait and switch. It's a romance game. Who knew that Hellraiser the video game would be a bait and switch? There you go.
Sometimes the things we think we need are not all that good for us.
What does that mean? What's she saying? She's really a demon. You didn't know? She's here to kill you. She eat your soul. Yeah, look, she's sucking his soul. Look, I'm not kidding. I wasn't kidding. Look. She's studying the... What's the name of the cube in Hellraiser? I've only seen a few of the Hellraiser movies. Like 2, I think I saw. I saw the one with Pinhead, the one where he became the main villain. Because the first one, he's not, right? There's like 3 or 4 of the demons, and he's just one of them. But then after that, I guess people really liked the look of Pinhead, and they made him the main demon after that, or the main bad guy, right? But I've only seen a couple of them. I've only seen them a few times. I don't really remember them that well. Yeah. The Omni Cube, the Lament Configuration. Good Lord. That's an interesting name. The Lament Configuration.
I have witnessed you, Aiden Lynch. You crave what we offer. Your desires so plentiful.
So wait, are they saying that their love was set up as like a demonic offering? Like maybe she has the cube and she said, I want love, and then she met this guy, and so their whole relationship is because the demons gave it to her? Is that what they're saying? What kind of game is this going to be? Is this going to be a story game? Story-based? I wonder. That was a groovy piercing right through the bridge of the nose.
Such delicious torment.
Oh!
It is done. She belongs to now. But perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
What do you want from me?
An inexpensive graphics card and RGB RAM. They're way too goddamn price hiked right now. Can you have any?
Aiden Lynch. yourself to our purpose. All that you are. Let us begin.
Hellraiser Revival. So it looks like it's going to be a first-person horror game with a lot of action and gore, right? See, here's the thing. Looks interesting, but at the same time, YouTube, for those who don't know, YouTube is becoming way more strict with its monetization policies. A game like that, it could be borderline. Like, because there's a lot of gore. You see bodies are getting torn apart and everything. And YouTube had a new policy they instituted in November that realistic violence is demonetized. You could still upload it, like you can make videos of it, but you can't monetize it. So I wonder with a game like that, I mean, it's going to be so blatantly gory, right? And it looks like it's going to be like body torture and stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, it stands to reason, like someone just said, what about Resident Evil? You're right. Like with Resident Evil coming up, as long as there will be parts of Resident Evil that will be totally fine, but if there end up being parts of Resident Evil that have a lot of gore in them, those parts could also get demonetized on YouTube. So it's tricky. It's a tricky line that we dance as creators as things evolve over time and cultural norms change and, you know, YouTube's guidelines change. You don't know what's allowed and what's not. It's not that I think that game is bad. First of all, I'll say the graphics, I don't know. They're not that good, in my opinion. Did you notice that the graphics didn't really have the level of detail that most modern games have these days? Who made this game? Saber and Boss Team Games? Oh, I don't know who that is. So maybe it's not as big scale of a game, you know what I mean, as others. And that's why the graphics didn't look that great to me. But it could be all right. It could be a first-person horror game with a lot of gore and stuff. It's okay. Let me put it this way. That's not bad. I'm just curious to what extent it's going to go. Will it be like ultra extreme? I just have to find out, right? Okay. Oh, feeling the love today. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Cool. That's right. The graphics are nowhere near as good as Dragon Quest VII. That's a given. Come on. Yes, the Hellraiser franchise has always been that kind of weird stuff that mixes, you know, sexual content with gore and horror, body horror. So. Most Tasteless has auto-resubscribed to Kick for 18 months. That counts. So thank you to Most Tasteless. Let's get that on the leaderboard. That's our first sub of the day. Thanks. You're not here, but thank you. You're here in spirit, Most Tasteless. Secret Rain did another $2 super chat. I guess we'll have to see. Thanks for checking it. Yeah. It doesn't look bad. Okay? It doesn't. It could be. Oh, let's get the music back. It doesn't look bad, just games like that, I don't know. That could be good and it could be You know, I don't know. They got the licensing, so they've got a big horror name behind it. Hopefully the game lives up to the name. You know what I mean? What franchise do I wish would be made into a game? What franchise do I wish would be made into a game? I have to think about that. It's a tough one. A franchise that has not been, you know, sold with a price tag slapped on it, sold to some high bidder, and then completely bastardized and destroyed yet. I wonder. Let me see. I'm thinking on the top of my head about, you know, TV shows and things that I've watched and things that are popular, right? Bad Bunny, the Bad Bunny video game. Someone has to make the Bad Bunny video game. There you go. Why not? Why hasn't that happened yet? Can't be worse than Silent Hill F. Well, again, Silent Hill F. let me put it this way again. I'll say it again. Silent Hill F is not a terrible game by any means. It's just a bad Silent Hill game. In fact, it's not a Silent Hill game. It's a game where they took the name, they slapped it on, and made a game that had nothing to do with Silent Hill besides, oh no, supernatural stuff's happening. It's bad, you know? Should not have been called Silent Hill at all, in my opinion. Gary asked, should I have Zaxby's chicken today? I don't know. I've never had it. It's never been anywhere I've lived. You know, I've lived in Connecticut, and I live in Washington State, and there's no Zaxby's. So I don't even know what kind of stuff they have. What kind of chicken do they have? Is it a fried chicken place? I don't even know. Secret Rain says, I'd like to see a Telltale-style game based on Pennywise the Clown, just like Welcome to Derry. There you go. When am I cleaning my closet? Well, just like I did last year, it will be the Indivestance Day Closet Cleanout Marathon event. It'll be held on or around July 4th. Okay? And that event is going to be important because not only will I be cleaning out my closet fully, I actually have now a storage rack that I took out of the room across the hall. It's just sitting in my studio on the other side of the room where I'm not using that part. And I'm going to try to organize that fully. Like, actually have shelving in there that's going to have stuff that I'm storing. So for the first time ever, it's actually going to have, like, space management in there. I'm going to throw out a bunch of crap. Like, for example, for years, I had all these things in my background as decorations. But now, as you can see, my setup's much different, more streamlined now. So I want to try to clean out a lot of that stuff and have, like, extra room for storage and just, you know, have it be usable again. But also, for that one day only, okay, for every $50 of support that I raise, I will either put on a hat or a vest of the audience's choice. We'll be doing polling live all day long. I did this last summer. It worked really well. People loved it. They said it was like their favorite event of the summer. So we're doing it again this year come July. The Spider-Man Noir trailer is out. I saw that it's out. I haven't seen the trailer, but I saw that it's out. Yeah, it's an Amazon Prime show coming out in May. Hopefully it's good. Would I play the Telltale Jurassic Park game when I have time? I mean, it's so outdated now. The Telltale Jurassic Park game was their first game, was it not? Like, that was even before the Back to the Future game that I played, which was way early on when I was a YouTuber. So I don't know if anyone's going to care about me doing that. You know, it's so outdated. Probably looks like crap, and it never got remastered or anything. Nature-based, I have no idea what you're talking about. Would you like to explain what you're talking about in chat? When is the Neo 3 stream?
Never.
What's up, Fanatics? Is that how you say your name? Fanatics? How you doing? So we're going to hang out for about another 20-30 minutes. Probably around 12:30-ish. We will jump into Dragon Quest. Probably play it for about an hour, then take a break, and then come back play for another 2.5 hours. So we're going to get big progress in Dragon Quest today. Okay? And it should be chill vibes and a good one. And hopefully we'll get to some interesting stuff. I heard the job system unlocks today. So that should be fun. Do I have an exclusivity contract with Amazon Prime? How on earth could I have an exclusivity contract? What does that mean? I have a subscription to Amazon Prime. That gives me free delivery on most stuff off of Amazon. That's like 2-day expedited delivery. And it gives me access to the Amazon Video service. What exclusivity are we talking about? Lawful Kayla, how are you? Gary says Zaxby's chicken tastes like it has cocaine in it. It's tender and delicious, and they have a delicious chicken sauce called Zaxby sauce. Well, if it has cocaine in it, I mean, maybe that's a different question altogether. Maybe it should be regulated by the feds. You know? I don't know. I'll probably end up never having Zaxby's chicken because it's just not around here. Sounds like it's a chain that's only in certain parts of the U.S., right? Yeah, there is a Raising Cane's that's opening in Washington State, but it's nowhere near me. So I can't get that either right now. But what I'm assuming is if this location does well, they'll probably look to expand and do more, and then maybe I can try that one. Just like there's a Dave's Hot Chicken in downtown Seattle, but that's an hour away. They won't deliver here. If that ends up being super successful, maybe they'll expand into other parts of the state, in which case I'll be able to try them. I played many of the Persona games. Yes, I played Persona 3, 4, 5. And I played Persona 4 Arena for a very short period of time because I got hit with false copyright strikes by Atlas. And that just seems to be a running problem with Atlas, is they just tend to copyright strike people for no reason who play their games. So, you know, I've played them, but, you know, for example, if they made a new one right now, they dropped Persona 6, you'd have to, like, walk on eggshells trying to play the game. As stupid as that sounds, that's how they are. They'll hit you with strikes for no reason, even though you did nothing wrong. Yeah, I never even played far enough into Persona 4 Arena to really understand it. It was like a day of playing it, and they hit me with copyright strikes for the intro. I was playing the tutorial of the game. I'm not even kidding. And they're like, oh, copyright strike. I'm like, oh, you guys are fucked. Like, that's messed up. It's a fighting game. It's not even like I'm playing an RPG and I'm spoiling your narrative. It's a fucking tutorial of a fighting game. Why would you give me a copyright strike? So what do you guys want to talk about? Any ideas? Anything you want to discuss today? You know, we already talked about, you know, I'm still looking to lock in a couple things. Just so you guys know, first of all, next week's DSP Tries It will take place on Monday. So it's relatively soon. It's going to be IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, and I'm going to have breakfast for dinner. So on Monday's stream, we'll end the gameplay a little on the earlier side, and I'm going to get delivery. I'm thinking of getting, like, one of their more deluxe breakfasts. So, for example, you can get, like, crazy stuff like chicken fried steak or something like that with everything with it. Or you can get, like, an omelet. I'm debating what to get. Maybe I'll get, like, one of their big omelets with, like, pancakes and stuff. And then I'll review everything about the meal. That'll be a good one. I haven't done anything. Rarely do I do breakfasts, right? Like, I think in the entire running of DSP Tries It, I've done breakfast, like, 3 times. So, that should be some good variety for DSP Tries It next week on Monday. What we need to figure out is the marathon coming up in early March. It's going to be the Retrothon, but how do we do it and what do we want to do? What do you guys think? Like, what do you think would work? What would get people excited to show up for a marathon that I'm going to be doing in early March? People want retro. I'll give you retro. But the question is, what kind of retro? Do you want a themed retro that's one game like Mario? Or do you want a variety of retro games where we play, like, every retro game, like all the big ones for, like, an hour, right? Like, what if I played Mario for an hour, Zelda for an hour, Metroid for an hour, Kirby for an hour? You know what I mean? Or, you know, I don't know. I'm down for whatever. I love retro games. So I'm just curious, like, what would you guys be interested in coming by to see in this marathon? Because I want to lock it in very soon, so we can hype it up. I can make art for it. We can start getting it very, you know, laid out and people excited for it. The last marathon did all right, but people basically didn't stick around for the whole thing because they didn't know what games were going to be played. And once a game got picked, if they didn't like it, they left. In this case, this would be a marathon. People know exactly what's going to happen and can be there for it. You know what I mean? I've been to a Waffle House, but I didn't eat there. And Checkers, I believe I did eat once ever. When I was in Texas, we had got it, and we had ordered it in the drive-thru and brought it back to our room, our hotel room. And they gave us absolutely nothing. They gave us no napkins, no utensils, no plates. So we were just standing there with wrappers trying to eat these messy-ass burgers in the hotel room. It was going everywhere. I remember it tasting good, but just being a huge mess. Who was the spinning robot guy on my display in the back? That is an enemy from Dragon Quest. Yeah, Waffle House, I don't know. I've never had it. I don't know if it's good or not. That's a down south thing. Like, I know Waffle House, where I went to was when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, for a tournament. And my friends wanted to eat, and I wasn't hungry. So I just went in there with them, and they ordered some stuff. You know, it seemed like typical breakfast stuff. It didn't seem like anything too crazy. Battledix has ever been to the Whopper House. You mean Burger King? Yes, I've been to Burger King many times in my life. If anything, what I'll say is I am happy that so far we have taken a big break from the major fast food chains in 2026. Because if you remember last year for DSP Tries It, like every week it was like Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. We were just going through all of them, and it was like, oh, they're boring, right? Burger King's new Steakhouse Whopper. It's not new. It's the same fucking sandwich. All you did is mix around the condiments and toppings from other sandwiches. You could have made that yourself at any point. It's not new. You're just faking like you're trying. You're not trying, right? I do hope that this year there will be better foods to try for DSP Tries It. Like, I would love if McDonald's or Wendy's actually had something new that they've never had before. Then I'd be excited to go back. Wendy's does have new chicken tenders with dipping sauces, except it's chicken tenders. It's such a standard thing that everyone else has that just because they have it now doesn't mean that I'm super interested in trying it, you know? So hopefully we'll have some interesting stuff. So far, it's been a pretty slow year for this kind of stuff. So that's why we'll do IHOP next week. And then we got to hopefully figure something out that's better for the end of the month. I hope we can find something good. I don't know. We'll have to see. Gary, thank you for a $5 super chat. He says, would you consider playing Star Wars Zero Company when it comes out? Turn-based squad strategy like XCOM? Yes, I would be interested in trying that. I don't know if it would work. The reason I say that is I played XCOM and XCOM didn't work. People got bored of it after around 15 to 20 hours. Mostly because XCOM forces you at one point to grind. Like, you hit a wall and then you have to keep repetitively doing things to level your characters up, or else you can't even win the next story-based stage. And the audience hated that. They got really bored of it and were like, oh, you know, so I stopped playing it. But sure, having that IP tied in with that style of game could work. And yes, this year I'm trying a lot of different stuff that typically I wouldn't do. So absolutely, yes, I would check that out. Lawful Kayla, well, for the Retro Marathon, I'm willing to do whatever. But we did have a poll a few days ago. Like, would you prefer, like, Nintendo? Would you prefer Atari, which is really even older? Would you prefer more modern? And people actually voted for Nintendo stuff. So, what I would think is maybe we look at the library of stuff that's on the Switch 2 and see what's on the Switch 2 online. Because I have to get the better Switch 2 online next week for the Virtual Boy stuff. So I'll have access to more games, and we'll have to maybe look and see what's on there. And maybe that would be the marathon, is picking a bunch of games off of the Nintendo Online premium service and, you know, playing the ones people want. I seem more chill and vibey today than usual. Today's a laid-back day. Like I said, today, it's going to be Dragon Quest, a very laid-back game, right? Morning show with nothing super specific to talk about. So, yeah, it is a more relaxed day, I would say. For sure it is. I did not see that Diablo 2 got updated with a new class. No, I did not. I seem very unsure about my own content. Not that I'm unsure, but right now we're at a time of the year where there's just not a lot of ginormous things going on in gaming, right? There's a lot of things going on, but they're all indie stuff, trials, like you know, High Guard. Oh, God. Did you guys hear about High Guard? I should mention this. High Guard not only flopped horribly like we all expected it would, it flopped so bad, they made so little money, they just laid off almost their entire dev team. So Wildlight Studios laid off almost every employee in the building. They left behind a skeleton crew to keep High Guard running temporarily. The expectation is High Guard's going to close very soon. The game will just shut down. So, sad story. Can't say that we didn't see that one coming. I mean, the moment we booted the game and started playing it, it was like, why does this game exist? This is so bizarre. And it flopped horribly. It's done, pretty much. So that's really sad. But again, what did I ask? The first thing I said after I played that stream, I said, why does this game exist? Like, who financed it and thought this was a good idea? Who sat in a room and brainstormed, this is the game we should make, and didn't have one original idea in their head? Like, how could you be so off base with what gamers want to make High Guard? I just don't understand. Like, you'd have to not be a gamer to make High Guard and think it was going to do well. I just don't understand it at all. Anyway, thank you to Typical Average Gamers, who has gifted a membership this morning. That is our first, it's this afternoon, by the way, turned to afternoon. That's our first membership of the day. Thank you so much for that. Thank you guys for this early support, because like I said, I love Dragon Quest, but man, it's really hard to get people to stick around and engage and support that game. So the support you're giving me now for the podcast helps. to offset the fact that I really don't get much support for Dragon Quest. So thank you for this early support very much. What do I think about Marathon? Do I think it will actually be a good game? I have no idea. It doesn't look good. Let me put it that way. The art style looks terrible to me. Like, it looks like it's going to give you a headache because it's all neon and shit. Like, oh. But that doesn't mean it will play bad. So I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it an honest try. You know, if this beta is coming out, you know, later today because of the state of play, I'll try it tomorrow. If not, if the beta is announced, I'll try it when it comes out, and I'm willing to give it a go. I don't want to write stuff off based solely on looks these days, you know, so let's see what happens. That Kid Pulley did a $5 super chat. Thank you. He says, no chance of an Ark return. I think that people would watch. New update soon coming with a new map. I want to do Ark Raiders again when they add that new mode that's PvE. Because right now it's PvPvE, but they said they're going to add an exclusive mode, I think they said in March, where it's all you team up with humans against the robots, and that's it. There's no, like, you don't attack the humans. There's no chance that someone backstabs you. I think the game may get a interesting rejuvenation at that point. Not to say that it's waning at all. It's actually got a ton of players and people buying it. But I think that would be neat to check out the new game mode when it releases, because that'll be something fresh rather than the same loop that I've been doing and we got bored of. Big Mac, to answer your question, go check out the podcast from the other day, because we already had this discussion about Dragon Quest and that I love it and I want to keep playing it, and it may end up being the guilty pleasure style game that does not perform well, but I still want to keep playing it. There you go. Rose Diamond says, for the marathon, I like an idea of an hour each of the most popular classic Nintendo franchises, and maybe whatever gets the most support, that game can end up being an actual playthrough in the future. It would encourage engagement. Yeah, that's true. So maybe we could say, hey, what are the biggest Nintendo games of all time, right? Obviously Mario, Zelda, Metroid, probably Kirby. You gotta think NES, right? So maybe think of the ones that are the biggest Nintendo franchises, and then we play each one for like an hour during the marathon and see who likes what the most, and maybe we could do them in the future. Because people do have a desire to see me do retro. Like, people are saying, can you do like a retro night every once in a while? I'm down for that. It's just there's so much retro. Like, what would you even do? Right? We have to. This would maybe help us to figure that out. I reacted to Horizon Hunters Gathering on the show the other day. I did a live react to the trailer. You can check that out. Just you know, go back a few days on the channel here. You'll find it. I did see, apparently Jason Momoa is going to star in a Helldivers movie, but it's coming out in November. And it's like, wait, what? How is it possible that no one knew about this movie or anything? I don't know, but it's coming out in November. They just announced it. Somo says we need more crumble cookies occasionally when new flavors come up. I'm not against it. I enjoyed doing something different for DSP Tries It. I thought that it was a fun thing to do, because it's good to do variety. Right now, the video, which has only been live for about 12 hours, has about 450 views, so it's not underperforming or whatever. I'd say that's on par with a DSP Tries It usually. Usually within the next day to 2 days, it'll get up to around 1,000 views. I hope it does, you know. So we'll see. As long as, you know, people liked that and liked the variety of me doing that, I wouldn't be opposed to doing more in the future like that. Oh, Ray says, I thought it's 2027. Is it? I thought the Helldivers movie was this year. Oh, if it's next year, well, that makes sense then. Although, I will say this, okay? When you are going to do a tie-in like that, you have to be sure that it's pertinent in the time frame that you can release the movie. Because, let's be honest, Helldivers was way more popular 2 years ago. Like, Helldivers really, is it still popular? It is, but nowhere near as much as it was, right? The player base has waned, not as much coverage and mainstream coverage anymore in the media and stuff. So by the time this movie comes out, is it going to be popular enough that a lot of people are going to care and want to see it? Or will it already have had its star burn out and now this will be a flop? I don't know. You would love to see me play OG GTA 1 and 2. Those are hard games. I know for a fact, because I actually had GTA 1. It came for free when I bought a graphics card, I believe it was, in the 90s. And I played it, and dude, it is a really difficult game. It's top-down shooting. Basically, GTA 1 is almost the predecessor to games like Hotline Miami. The only difference is it's actually open world, where you get in cars, you drive them around, and you get out of the car, use the car for cover, and you shoot around the car to try to kill people. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's fucking tough. So I never even beat it. I played it. I tried to play it a bunch, and I always died a million times. Escape velocity, it's not that I'm against emulation, but people have said that they think they want to see me play Nintendo stuff for the upcoming Retro Marathon, and I don't need to emulate to do that. All the most popular Nintendo stuff is on Switch Online on the Switch too, so that's probably how I'll do it. Oh, crap. You know what I should do? Oh, man. I got to get a new controller. Because right now, the only controller that I have for Switch 2 is the Joy-Cons. And if I'm going to do retro games, I want a D-pad. I need some suggestions. What would be the best retro-style controller for Switch 2? I know there's a lot of them out there. 8-Bit Dough or Do or whatever it is. And other companies. Like, what do you guys think would be a good controller? If you guys have one and would recommend one to me, I would appreciate that. Because I'll probably have to get it in the next few weeks before the marathon. How do you pronounce it? Is it 8-Bit Do or 8-Bit Dough? I don't know how to pronounce it. You could get an adapter and use a real N64 controller. I don't think I'll be buying an N64 controller anytime soon. Don't really think I have much use for that. The official Nintendo ones are sold out. They've been sold out for a while because I did look into it, and yeah, they're back ordered on the Nintendo Online website or whatever it is, the Nintendo store. You can't even get them right now. We got some kicking guitar riffs going on right now. Listen to this. Sounds like a old school CD based game on like PS1 or something that had a soundtrack like this. When is the next Hollow Knight stream? Well, let's see. We did it yesterday, so probably Hollow Knight would be Sunday. Yeah, I think it's Sunday. The daytime stream on Sunday. Was I a fan of Killswitch Engage or Skindred? I never heard of Skindred, but Killswitch Engage, yes, I heard their stuff and I liked it. I did have a Pro Controller for the original Nintendo Switch. Yes, I did. The problem is it always had issues with the D-pad. The D-pad was always faulty on the Pro 1 model. And I didn't buy the Pro 2 model because it's too expensive for what it is. Like, why am I going to spend like $80+ for that stupid thing? I know that there's going to be third-party controllers that are just as good. And I think that it's a ripoff to have to pay that much money to Nintendo when it doesn't really warrant that price tag. It also never goes on sale, which is ridiculous. Like, you can never find a Pro controller for, like, a reasonable price. Like, right now, I'll just go on Amazon, right? Switch to Pro controller. $89. They are out of their minds. $89? Right below it is DSPGaming has one that looks exactly the same, and that one's $40. There's so many. See, that's the thing. I knew this would happen. There's like a ton of competition right now in the controller game for Switch 2. That's why I'm asking you guys, like, what do you think is the best one? Because there's a ton of them here. Like, I wouldn't even know which one to even think to get with the amount that I'm seeing. There's like 100 brands. Power A, Turtle Beach, Voyi, Easy SMX, Afterglow, Miss Luck, another PDP, another Turtle Beach. What's this one? Ace Gamer, 8-Bit Dough. So that one's here, or 8-Bit Do, whichever one. That's pretty expensive, actually. The 8-Bit Do is $70. So it's $20 cheaper than the official Nintendo one. In truth, the only reason I really want this is because I want one that has a good D-pad and buttons so that I can play retro games. Like, that's legit what I'm looking for. I don't need one that's crazy over-the-top features or anything like that. I just want a good D-pad. So if anyone can recommend, I should buy one before the marathon, or else I'm going to be playing on the Switch Joy-Cons with the button D-pad, which is not good. Here's the question. Did they fix the D-pad so I can use it on the official Pro Switch 2 controller or not? Some people are saying in chat they love the official Switch 2 Pro controller. They think it's absolutely amazing. Huh. The D-pad's the same. If it's the same, I don't want it because the D-pad was faulty on the Switch 1 Pro. It just did not work. You press right, it goes up. You press left, it goes fucking down. It's garbage. You just can't get it to do what you want. All right, well, guys, last chance. If you have anything you want to talk about, please tag me in either chat because we are going to get started with Dragon Quest VII very shortly, okay? And I got my fans on full blast today because, again, it's full sun outside. I might have to put on my Gunner glasses because when I do this, it dries my eyes out, and I can already tell you my eyes are starting to burn. Probably toss on the glasses for when I start playing the game. Ugh. Thoughts on Crimson Desert? In a nutshell, the game looks absolutely amazing to the point where you have to ask, what gives is this game for real? You know what I mean? Like, when you see a game that every single thing about it looks ridiculously good, the question is it too good to be true, and are you being fooled? Right? I don't know. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Because when I see a game that says, it's got this amazing system, and this amazing system, and this amazing point, and this amazing point, I kind of look at a game like Starfield. Like, Starfield on paper looked amazing. It's, oh, look, it's going to have narrative trees like Fallout. It's going to have active gunplay. It's going to have traversal. It's going to have a universe that you can travel, and you can build bases on planets to do resource building. You can craft attachments for your own guns. You could build your own spaceship. It sounds so good. So many good features. And then you actually buy Starfield and you go to play it and you realize everything that I just mentioned is completely superfluous to the game and doesn't need to be done ever. Like, wait, what? Yeah, all those features are extras you don't need. They don't do anything. You could waste time on them if you want, but they don't actually help you with the story. All you do is you go through like it's Fallout and you just do basic stuff and the whole game's done. So, yeah, and that's what I'm looking. When you look at Crimson Desert, you're like, oh my god, it's going to have this kind of combat, but also this kind of combat. You're going to be able to fly on creatures. You're going to have this kind of thing. They all sound ridiculously good. But is it all going to come together into one coherent whole and be a really fun game? Or is it going to end up being half the stuff is not needed and you just don't ever do it and it doesn't actually have meaning? So, I actually would rather have it be great. I would rather have it be an outstanding, amazing game. So, let's see what happens. I'm going to cover it fairly, like I do everything, right? I disagree there. Jason says Bethesda was never good, honestly. No, they were good. That's why it's such a sad story. Because Bethesda of old, that used to make games like Morrowind, Oblivion, even Skyrim, and then they made games like the older Doom franchise, Fallout. Those games had soul. Those games had cultural relevance and value. They weren't games that were manufactured and glued together to sell. They were games that were meant to tell a story and meant to resonate with you as a gamer. Today, sadly, these companies have become so bloated, so corporate, so ridiculously mismanaged. The first thing they think about is, well, how do we make a game that's going to print profits for us? And then after the profits are done, is the game good? That's the wrong attitude to have. So, yeah, they've really... Most people who used to work for Bethesda, who were the creative people, are gone. They left. They went on to other ventures. They went on to other companies. And now Bethesda is left with the next generation of people fresh out of training who are green behind the ears and don't know what they're doing. Or they're left with the people who didn't leave because they liked having a high-paying job, but they don't have any talent. They weren't the ones who were in charge before. So, if anything, I hate to say it, it kind of shows that Todd Howard basically was good as a hands-on dev, and as soon as he became a manager, he's failed miserably. Like, he's not a manager. He should be line level like a game director. He should be directing the game itself. He shouldn't be running the company. He doesn't know how to do it. And then the people he put in charge to direct the games are awful at it. So, Yeah, I have. Sadly, I just don't have any faith that they're going to be pumping out a good game again. I don't foresee it. But maybe I'm wrong. I would like to be wrong, but I don't know. I don't see how that's going to happen. All right, guys, it is time to end our little chill session here called the DSP Morning Show. I want to thank everyone who hung out with me and had a good relaxing time. We do need to get to gameplay now. Thank you for those who are patient. I will urge, if you're here right now on stream, please stay. Don't leave. I want you to stick around because Dragon Quest is one of my favorite games right now. I want to keep this in the rotation. It's so hard to do so when people leave and run for the hills screaming in terror because I'm about to start playing the game, and then they won't engage with the game. They won't support the game. It drives me nuts, okay? Please stick around. Please engage. Please support. Let's go. Let's make Dragon Quest VII a great playthrough together, okay? Thank you for watching the DSP Morning Show. The show will resume on Monday because tomorrow we're going to have the big React podcast, and then Sunday I have my return podcast after my day off. So we'll come back on Monday and have a nice other chill hangout session, all right? Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for your feedback. See you Monday.